questions that I get asked a lot about in childbirth classes is, we're planning on traveling with our infant, and do you have any tips? I have a ton of experience traveling with, especially Olivia, my firstborn, particularly flying, and I want to share with you all sorts of tips to hopefully make your trip a lot easier. So age-wise, I actually found that flying with baby from about 3 months old to about 11 months old was actually the easiest time to fly with baby. Beyond that, I kind of found 1 year old to about 2.5 was the most challenging time flying with baby, just because at that point they want to be up and running around and they don't understand why they have to be sitting on your lap. And they will be able to fly for free sitting on your lap up until age 2. So get a lot of traveling in those first couple of years. And just remember, everything that I'm saying here, it's all well worth it. If this, for me, it was the only way to go and visit my family was to, fly to see them. So it'll be well worth it, but do get ready because it is a lot of work traveling with baby. So a couple things to consider when you are traveling with an infant. One is the time of day. So I always chose morning, early afternoon to fly because that is when baby was happiest. I never had a baby that slept on the airplane. If you do, wonderful. Time your trip around the times when your baby is going to sleep. Otherwise, I found that avoiding later afternoon, evening when baby is the fussiest. I tried never to fly during that time. So yeah, think about the time of day. Another thing, when you get to the gate, they will say that you can board as one of the very first people. If you have an infant or small kids, you can board first. I always boarded at the very end because if you board first, you're sitting there literally on the plane for probably 20 minutes. That may not seem like a big deal, but when you have an infant, if they're crying or not happy, 20 minutes seems like a lifetime. So you may be a little bit nervous and anxious waiting until the end, but my suggestion is board at the very end. You'll have plenty of time to still get settled. Let's talk about just logistics of being at the airport. So you will either choose to take a stroller, which is what I chose to do just because I wanted the area, a place to put the diaper bag and things like that in the stroller. So I found that was easiest. You can actually take the stroller all the way down the ramp and then they will check in the stroller at the very end. When you do get to the gate, they will ask you or go up to the desk and they will want to put a stroller tag on your stroller. But then you can literally take the stroller all the way down the ramp until you're just about ready to board the plane and then they'll board your stroller. Do not pick your very favorite, most expensive stroller to take to the airport because they throw those strollers, and my sister and I learned the hard way and got a broken stroller at the end. So yeah, pick a cheap stroller that you're willing to get damaged for your trip. Or some parents will choose to forego the stroller and just use a carrier and just, carry baby on you. So that would be another option. Do know that when you go through security, they're going to have you, take baby out of the stroller, just kind of get ready. It's going to be a process there. Found that it actually was easier to use a backpack for the plane trip. The other diaper bag, just not as easy. Sometimes I traveled alone with baby. I didn't have my husband to help. And so I just found it was actually easier to put a backpack on with everything that I needed, and my hands were free for baby that way. So I love the Honest company. They have cute backpacks. I love, again, that there's a lot of zippers, room to put everything that you need for baby. And again, for traveling, the ready-made, formula that you can pour into the bottle and just add water. These are great. Or again, I'm not sure, double check with security and make sure that you could take these past security, but this might be another option too because these are ready to go. Don't even need to add water. You can just pour these in a bottle. And if you're gonna nurse, just remember you are super close. As you're on the airplane, you are super close to your neighbor there. So be ready with a blanket or something to cover you. Also just talk about the mindset when you are traveling. It's totally different from when you and your husband took a trip. You were relaxed, you read some magazines or a book, and you had your drink there. I actually found it was easiest to bring either a bottled water or whether it's a Diet Coke or whatever you're gonna drink with a lid, because it's hard to have an open drink on the tray right in front of you with holding baby. So just have something with a lid I found was actually the most helpful. My husband and I joked that we always called it a trip, not a vacation, because yeah, not so much relaxing, always worth it, but yeah, the mindset was we're going on a trip. And you know, my big fear was, is baby gonna cry on the airplane? And probably the answer is yes. And so just remember, you're not there to make friends, you are just there to survive the plane trip. You are doing the very best that you possibly can. And the other thing I underestimated sometimes is I traveled with baby at 3 months and at 6 months, and you're going to maybe different time zones. Just anticipate you're going to be a little extra tired, baby's going to be a little bit tired, cranky, so just anticipate that. But it will all be well worth it. So I hope that this helps, and have a good trip.